How's it going?
Towards the middle?
I think it's just a little, yeah.
Alrighty, folks! Welcome to the first night of the New Works Festival. Thank you all so much for being here tonight, virtually and in person. My name is Aaron Higaretta, and I am 1/3 of AKA Productions and this year's New Works Festival coordinator. I would like to take this time to acknowledge that our campus is built upon the original and traditional territory of the Tongva people, and within Tongva, Cahuilla, Luiseño, Serrano original lands and contemporary territories. In the spirit of Rupert and Jeanette Costos' founding relationship to our campus, we would like to respectfully acknowledge and recognize our responsibility to the original and current caretakers of this land, water, and air, the Tongva, the Cahuilla, the Luiseño, and the Serrano peoples, and all of their ancestors and descendants past, present, and future. Today, UCR is home to many indigenous peoples from all over the world, including UCR faculty, students, and staff. And we are grateful to have the opportunity to live and work and play on these homelands. I would also like to take this time to specifically thank the time, talents, and energy of each cast in the festival, the production team, especially Ben Tusher, Johnny Macias, Marissa Vera, Allison Moon, and Kimberly Guerrero for trusting MFA students to coordinate this festival. I would also like to thank our amazing dramaturg, Lily Hart, who will lead a brief talkback after each performance, and Performing Arts Marketing Specialist, Melanie Romero, KUCR, the Highlander newspaper, the TFDP social media team, and the CHAS student marketing team. I want to bring your attention to the QR code on the inside of your program. It's the first page. If you follow that link, it will lead you to a feedback form where you can share your thoughts, opinions, positive affirmations on your experience of each work in the festival. Lastly, I want to bring your attention to silencing your devices, the emergency exits, and our amazing writer of Troop 415, Ava Fojtik.
Thank you, Aaron Higaretta, for that very kind introduction. Hi, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Ava Fojtik. I am the playwright and mind behind Troop 415. Before we begin today, I would love to share one of my life principles with you all, because I have a captive audience, so I can force you to listen to them. One of my life principles is that I never say no to a Girl Scout. This leads me into all kinds of interesting situations. I spend a lot of money on cookies, I have a lot of frozen Thin Mints, and also I've had a lot of really entertaining and bizarre conversations with elementary and middle school girls. Eventually, I thought that these types of conversations were things that an audience should hear. These Girl Scouts were incredibly funny, they're incredibly smart, and they often say things that we need to hear. This script is notably a film script. It is not a theatrical play. So you may have noticed that this event is typically called the New Play Festival. it's my fault that there's a name change this year. So, part of why I wrote a film for my thesis script is because this is the project that I felt I most needed UCR's department support to make. We have incredible screenwriting professors here. I'm just going to shout out a few of them, but there are many beyond the ones that I mention. The three people that most helped develop this script were my thesis chair, Stu Krieger, Joshua Malkin, and Kimberly Guerrero, who also directed tonight's piece. So thank you, Kimberly. So thank you again to those people because they made an incredible impact on this project. Finally, before I finish up and we get to hear the wonderful script, I wanted to let you all know that this is just the first night of our festival. So tomorrow night, we have Erin Higaretta's thesis script, The Legend of the Rhino, being read at 7 p.m. right here. So please come see that. And also please come see Carly Thomas's script, Lizzie, a Toad Smoke rendition of Liz Estrada, which is at 7 p.m. on Friday. So just wanted to let you know, we have all kinds of beautiful things being performed this week, and I hope that I see you at all of them. So thank you again for being here. Your presence is really appreciated, and please enjoy Troop 415.
Troop 415, a film by Fojtik. Interior, Coco's bedroom, morning. Coco, 13, runs her hands over a large blank canvas on her floor. Coco is right smack in the middle of her awkward phase, acne, extra pounds, and all. She's bright and creative, with green paint streaked on her shirt and in her hair. At the moment, Coco is lonelier than she's ever been. Coco's surrounded by moving boxes, only a few of which are unpacked. Coco stares at the large canvas. This is the type of gorgeous, expensive canvas that a young artist would want to save for only their best work. Coco goes to a box to pick out a smaller canvas. She also grabs a handful of paint tubes and leaves the room. We linger in the box for a moment, which is filled with art supplies and a participation trophy for the Milwaukee County Middle School Art Competition. Interior, Farm and Fleet Store, Room 1, morning. A box of Thin Mints is carefully placed on a shelf. The hands that carry it are decorated with a wristful of friendship bracelets. The box of Thin Mints is pushed forward to meet a shelf full of various Girl Scout cookies. We see Alice, 13, who wears a Girl Scout uniform. She takes cookie stock, counting boxes under her breath. Alice is a natural-born leader, and she's had straight A's since kindergarten. Alice's vest is covered in a mess of patches, the most prominent of which reads Troop 415. Alice removes 6 boxes of caramel delights from the shelf and puts them in a cardboard box at her feet. Satisfied, she lifts up the box and leaves the closet. Interior, Hiccup's bedroom, morning. Hiccup, 13, rolls over in bed asleep. Hiccup is an enthusiastic but disheveled girl. She's the perfect picture of mischief. On the nightstand, her phone dings. Insert phone screen, new message from Alice. Hiccup nestles deeper into her bed. Hiccup's bedroom is littered with knickknacks. Hiccup collects the same types of objects that might appeal to a crow. Shiny gum wrappers, cool rocks, yo-yos she found abandoned at the park. The phone dings again.
Shit.
Hiccup gets up, rubbing her eyes. She picks up her phone from the nightstand. She unlocks her phone to read Alice's message.
Took stock. We need to sell 20 plus boxes today. Meet me at Menominee Park at 9 a.m. Also, did you know Joshua H. works at Farm and Fleet? He is so cute, like Harry Styles.
Hiccup glances at the time. 8:38. She sighs, but rolls out of bed. She picks her Girl Scout uniform off of the floor. It is wrinkled, with at least 3 or 4 suspicious-looking stains. Hiccup analyzes it for a moment. She attempts to remove a smudge from her Troop 415 patch, but it won't go away. She shrugs, deciding it's good enough to wear. Interior, Wanda's car, morning. Wanda, 40s, sits in her car in the Farm and Fleet parking lot. She reapplies lipstick in her car using the rearview mirror. Wanda dresses like a secretary in a porn film. She is absolutely terrifying. Alice struggles to open the passenger door with her hands full. Wanda perfects her lipstick. Alice eventually succeeds with the door and gets into the car.
How's the Thin Mint stock?
Good. We have over 3 dozen boxes. We also have 4 dozen caramel delights and 5 dozen peanut butter patties.
You know, you'll need to sell a lot more if you want to compete with Troop 414. I heard they even sold at the Polar
I
Plunge.
know. They beat us there.
Wanda drives out of the parking lot, continuing to apply makeup while she's driving, and she whips out black eyeliner from her purse and begins applying it in the rearview mirror.
Well, it's a good thing you've got all day to sell. Maybe you can catch up.
Alice readjusts her box on her lap and looks out the window, trying to get as far away from her mom as possible. Exterior, Hiccup's front yard, morning. Hiccup slings a backpack over her shoulder as she heads out the door. She holds a yo-yo in one hand and a manila envelope in the other. She plays with the yo-yo as she crosses the lawn. Once she reaches the mailbox, she looks at the envelope for a moment. It is addressed to Wilfred Wilder, Waukesha County Juvenile Detention Center. Hiccup plants a kiss on the envelope before placing it in the mailbox and raising the mailbox flag. She readjusts her backpack and makes her way down the sidewalk with swagger. Interior, Wanda's car, morning. Alice shifts in the passenger seat, trying to keep the cookie safe while Wanda weaves in and out of traffic. Wanda applies mascara.
Hiccup and I were going to try to sell on the west end of town today.
Hiccup? What happened to Prina?
Prina moved to Ashwaubenon.
And Samantha?
She got into a skiing accident up north last month. She's still in the hospital.
A shame. Samantha had such clear skin. You really can sell a lot when you have clear skin.
Alice instinctively turns her head away from Wanda, hoping she hasn't noticed the acne that started to blossom on her chin.
It's just Hiccup and me for now.
Wanda messes up her eyeliner. It streaks across her face. She swerves. Another car honks at her.
Damn it! Well, I guess that will just have to do.
Wanda wipes off as much of the messed up eyeliner as she can. Alice glances at her acne in the rearview mirror. She frowns. Interior, Coco's kitchen, morning. Dorothy, 40s, puts frozen waffles in a toaster. Dorothy is a cheerful woman with big glasses and an affinity for snakes. Dorothy absentmindedly strokes Fred. One, a smooth green snake. A dazed Coco wanders into the kitchen, holding the canvas.
Morning, Coco.
Morning.
Notice anything different?
You're letting Fred into the kitchen now?
Max enters, slurping milk from a bowl of cereal. Max is Coco's 16-year-old brother. He looks like he hasn't showered in 4 days, because he hasn't. Coco looks harder at her mother and eventually notices the difference.
Oh, nice lab coat, Mom.
Dorothy grins and spins around. The new lab coat has M. Toxin's Venom Lab embroidered onto a pocket. Max removes a gallon of milk from the fridge. He adds more milk to his already milky bowl.
Yeah, you look like a real scientist.
That's because she is a real scientist.
Max glares at Coco. He slurps his bowl of milk loudly as he leaves the kitchen. A waffle leaps out of the toaster. Dorothy passes it to Coco, who sets down her painting things to take it. Dorothy strokes Fred thoughtfully.
I'm sorry I can't spend our first Saturday at Oshkosh here with you. Maybe unpack a box or two if you have time?
I'll be painting today.
Of course. My little Picasso.
Van Gogh.
Dorothy glances at her watch and grimaces. She hands Fred to Coco, who wrangles him into the same hand that she uses to hold her waffle.
Of course, Van Gogh. I've got to get going. Love you, Coco.
Dorothy gives Fred a goodbye pat on the head, then dashes out of the kitchen. For a beat, we watch Coco stand alone with Fred. Coco thoughtfully chews her waffle. Exterior, Menominee Park, morning. Alice stands at the park, holding her box of cookies. Hiccup, still half asleep, approaches Alice.
Hey, Alice. Hiccup, what happened to your True 415 patch?
Hiccup glances at the patch.
Oh, that might be soy sauce?
It looks red.
Or blood? Ooh, yeah, sorry, it's definitely blood. I got into a fight with Jared Pulaski last week. He said that girls with pet rats are ugly.
It's going to make True 415 look violent.
We are violent. Violently good Girl Scouts.
Alice shakes her head, but a small smile betrays her amusement.
We're Girl Scouts, but we can, like, kick ass, too.
Kick ass and sell cookies.
Hiccup and Alice link arms, headed out for the cookie trenches. Interior, Coco's living room, day. A paintbrush brushes paint across a canvas. The paint is green, Girl Scout green. As the strokes become more clear, we realize the painting is of a snake. It's good, but not great. The work of a child who's talented for their age. Coco peers at her handiwork, eyes narrowed at concentration as she watches Fred slither in a nearby terrarium. The living room is scattered with moving boxes. There are no decorations set up except for a framed print of Van Gogh's sunflowers on the wall above Fred. A knock is heard at the door. Coco ignores it, squirting more green paint onto her palette. After a beat, there is another knock on the door, firmer than the first one.
Max, get the door.
No, I'm busy.
We hear the sound of a guitar strummed from the other room. Coco shakes her head, annoyed. She adds more green to the snake's scales. Her calls to Max are distracted, only half-heartedly annoyed. These siblings fight so often that they no longer bother to put passion into it.
Busy doing what?
Your mom.
My mom is your mom.
Still.
Another knock. Coco continues to paint.
I'm painting. Get the door.
Yeah, painting something gross.
You have no idea what it means to be an artist.
Max pokes his head out from his bedroom down the hall. A guitar rests in his hands.
I'm a better artist than anyone alive. I'm writing a song right now about darkness.
Wow. You're so misunderstood.
Another, louder knock.
I hate you.
Coco throws down her paintbrush, wipes her hair out of her face, streaking green paint into it during the process. She goes to open the door herself. Exterior, Coco's stoop, day. Alice and Hiccup stand side by side on Coco's stoop. Alice's smile is perfect, though it looks rehearsed, like a pageant queen's. When she's in Girl Scout mode, Alice has the cadence of a used car salesman. Hiccup toys with a yo-yo in one hand.
Hello, miss. My name is Alice, and this is my friend Hiccup. Are you passionate about female empowerment?
Yes.
And may I ask, miss, are you at all fond of cookies?
Yes.
Then I bet you'd like to hear about a woman I admire named Julia Gordon-Low.
Okay.
Julia Gordon-Low was an ambitious girl boss who started the Girl Scouts, a group that empowers girls through friendship.
Hiccup produces a sit-upon out of thin air. It looks like a hastily woven mat.
I've sat on this sit-upon like 9 times since I made it. It's been very empowering.
Alice takes out several boxes of cookies to show Coco.
Together, Hiccup and I make Troop 415, and would be most honored for you to be buying a serving of cookies from us in order to support our cause. Right now, we have peanut butter patties, thanks-a-lots, and Thin Mints.
That's nice, but...
If it helps you to make your decision, we would love to recite the Girl Scout law for you. On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law. Amen.
Amen. And we're only asking for like $5 a box to support all that shit.
I don't have any money. I'm 13.
We also take cryptocurrency.
I don't have any cryptocurrency either.
Oh, that's not a problem. If you simply get your mother for us, she will have money, as most independent and empowered women do.
My mom isn't home, sorry. Just my brother, and he doesn't have any money either.
Oh, what about your father?
My dad isn't home. He isn't coming home.
That's okay. We'll stop by again next season. Thanks.
As Hiccup picks up the handle of their wagon and turns to leave, Alice notices the Van Gogh painting behind Coco.
Is that Van Gogh?
Yeah, it is. Wait, you know about Van Gogh?
Yeah, he's like a really good painter.
I think so too. I didn't know anyone else our age knew about it.
Hiccup, bored by the conversation, opens a box of egg-salads and starts eating.
Yeah, my mom has me study classical artists when I have free time.
That's so cool. Like, what do you like about Van Gogh?
I like that he was sad. He was so sad. And that's really beautiful.
Really beautiful. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Do you paint like how Van Gogh did before he died?
Thanks-a-lot crumbs tumble to the ground from Hiccup's mouth.
Yeah, actually, but I'm not as good as he was.
Oh, you know, we could use some new signs for the table when we sell outside of Farm and Fleet.
Alice Alice cocks her head at Coco, sizing her up. Hiccup swallows her thanks a lot, then does a yo-yo trick.
Hey, you have really nice skin.
Thanks.
Have you ever considered joining the Scouts?
The Girl Scouts?
Yeah, the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts are the worst.
They only sell popcorn.
Which is way worse than cookies.
Way worse.
Well, no, I haven't considered joining. I always thought that you guys just like tied knots, stuff like that.
We don't just tie knots. We do good for the community.
Like, you know the sit-upons at the local library?
No.
Well, anyway, we made those.
Oh, that's cool.
But also, we're Troop 415, and so we do a lot of cool things like glamping and shit. Troop 414 doesn't, so just keep that in mind.
Plus, we help empower each other. You know, we have fun together and defeat sexism and everything.
Alice removes a piece of paper from her bag, scrawls something on it with a pen, and hands it to Coco.
Just think about it. We lost a couple of our members recently, so we could really use the extra help around cookie selling season. You can email my mom when you decide. She's the troop leader. I'll think about it. Thank you.
Coco begins to close her front door.
Oh, wait, one more thing.
Yeah.
I like the paint in your hair. Very punk.
Oh, thank you.
Coco closes the door as Alice and Hiccup walk away, cookies in tow. Interior, Coco's living room, day. Coco leans against the door for a second, looking at the note in her hand. She smiles to herself. Exterior, Coco's neighborhood, day. Alice and Hiccup turn away from Coco's door and walk down the street, towards the next house.
I think I'm gonna do that to my hair. I like the green.
You shouldn't dye your hair with paint. It's probably a carcinogen or something.
Exterior, Miss Murata's house, day. Alice and Hiccup approach Coco's next door neighbor's house. Hiccup does another yo-yo trick.
I miss Prina. Her older sister has purple hair, and she drinks beer sometimes. She's so cool!
Miss Murata, 50s, opens the door. Miss Murata is wearing one of those sequin top from the 80s that is so sparkly it's practically blinding. She chews gum as they chat.
Hello?
Hello, miss. Are you at all interested in supporting?
Oh, I already have those cookies. Thank you. Those adorable little Troop 414 girls sold me a whole case of caramel delights yesterday.
Well, we actually have some new flavors that will
Miss
really...
Murata pops her gum, then slams the door. Exterior, Coco's neighborhood, day. Alice and Hiccup turn away, headed toward the next house. Hiccup does a defeated yo-yo trick.
Shit. Again.
They plod across the sidewalk. Exterior, Mr. Roswell's house, day. They halt in front of the next house, which belongs to Mr. Roswell, 70s. Mr. Roswell terrifies every kid in the neighborhood. His house is dark, and a mysterious red liquid is splattered across his porch.
Should we knock on Mr. Roswell's door?
Absolutely not.
Alice and Hiccup both stare at the dilapidated house.
I forgot. Did Prina's sister tell you Mr. Roswell is a ghost, or did she say he's a murderer?
I think she said he's both, and a dog torturer.
Alice and Hiccup look at each other, then leave hurriedly. Interior, Coco's dining room, day. Dorothy, Max, and Coco sit around their kitchen table, which is still surrounded with moving boxes. They eat straight out of a takeout box. Coco is picking at her food, while Max shovels food into his mouth. Fred wiggles between the boxes.
And then it ends with a guitar solo and the sound of a chainsaw revving.
That sounds, very scary, honey.
It is.
Max swallows an egg roll whole.
I know moving has been a big adjustment, especially in the middle of the school year, but I'm glad you two are trying to make the most of it. Plus, my new job will really help with your college funds.
Dorothy removes Fred from her box of noodles.
I'm not going to college.
Of course not. You won't get in.
Kids.
I'll have you know I got 2 A's last semester.
Yeah, in gym and typing.
I can type 100 words a minute. You couldn't type that fast in your dreams.
Kids!
Dorothy drapes Fred over her neck.
I will not have you bickering like this. You're the only friends you have in Oshkosh right now.
We're not friends.
I hate her.
He disgusts me.
Exactly.
Besides, I have 2 half-friends already. And that makes 1 whole friend. Yeah, some Girl Scouts came to the door and asked me to join their troop, and I think maybe I will.
The Scouts do a lot of good for the community. One of my coworkers today told me about a troop that made sit-upons for the local library.
They don't have chairs at the library already?
I think that would be good for you, Coco. It could connect you with new friends. Maybe Max could even join the Boy Scouts.
Over my dead body.
Save the attitude for your music, Max.
Coco stifles a laugh. Max chokes down another egg roll, glaring at her. Interior, Coco's bedroom, morning. On Monday morning, Coco gets ready for her first day at her new middle school. She looks at herself in the mirror, feeling self-conscious. She wears jeans that don't quite fit and a t-shirt of Van Gogh's Starry Night. A note on her mirror reads,
Had to get to the lab early this morning for venom extraction. Max promised he'd give you a ride to school. Homeroom starts at 8 a.m. on the dot, so good luck on your first day. You're going to be great. XOXO, Mom.
Coco, hurry up.
I'm almost ready.
Coco swipes her hair behind her ears, but it won't stay, and continues falling over her face. She tugs it into a ponytail, which is only a marginal improvement.
Coco, let's go.
Give me 1 more minute.
Exasperated, she picks up a paintbrush from her desk and sticks it through the middle of the ponytail. Her hair submits.
I'm gonna leave without you if you don't hurry.
Coco rolls her eyes, then admires herself in the mirror for a moment. The paintbrush transforms her from an awkward middle schooler into a cultured artist. Coco picks up her backpack from the floor.
Max, I'm ready.
Coco pulls the backpack onto her back.
Max?
Interior, Coco's hallway continuous. Coco leaves her room looking for Max. The house is silent. Suddenly, she hears the sound of a car honk.
Max!
Exterior, Coco's doorstep, day. Coco runs outside, panicked, just in time to see Max pulling out of the driveway. Hard rock music plays in the car. He shouts out of his window.
Too slow.
No, Max, it's too far to walk.
Max is already halfway down the block.
It's
Coco
too
yells
far
at
to
her.
walk, Max, you ass.
Coco cringes as she looks at the time on her phone, 7:49.
Shit, oh shoot, crap.
Exterior, Coco's neighborhood, morning. Coco sighs, tightens her backpack straps, and begins to run down the sidewalk. Interior, school bus, morning. A school bus rocks down the road toward Perry Tippler Middle School. The bus is filled with 6th through 8th graders, who are all cringeworthy in their own unique ways. A 6th grader takes a selfie with her friend. A 7th grader picks at her acne in a hand mirror. An 8th grade porn watcher at the back of the bus wears a gigantic hoodie and watches porn on his phone. He doesn't wear headphones. Alice and Hiccup lean against the seat together. Hiccup wears a huge band t-shirt. Alice is dressed like a teenager from the 50s. Hiccup tries to balance her yo-yo on her nose. Alice watches JoJo, a girl who sits several seats ahead of them. JoJo, 13, is a track star, volunteer at the local animal shelter, and a member of Troop 414. She's currently showing her friend something on her phone.
Do you think JoJo has her period yet?
I don't know. I've never seen, like, blood on her pants or anything.
I bet she has her period. She seems so mature.
Actually, I think she has a disease. Like, she got it from using, like, scented tampons or something. They mess up her pH balance, and now she has, like, a disease.
That's so scary.
I know.
She's really pretty though.
She's okay. Personally, I think all the members of Troop 414 are a little bit ugly.
Well, as a feminist, I don't think you should.
JoJo stands up and walks to the back of the bus, brushing past Alice and Hiccup's seat. She sits down in one of the last seats and starts chatting up the 8th grade porn watcher. He smiles and hands her a $5 bill and is given a box of Thin Mints in return.
Whoa, she just made a sale on the bus.
Is that allowed? Are we even allowed to stand on the bus?
414 doesn't care about the rules. It's like the Wild West out here.
JoJo passes them again, returning to her seat.
I can't believe I never thought to sell on the bus before. It's a captive audience. It's genius.
It's not genius. Anybody could do it.
Hiccup taps the shoulder of the girl in the bus seat over, Jermaine, 13, who is currently listening to music in her headphones.
Jermaine. Hey, Jermaine.
Jermaine reluctantly takes off her headphones.
What?
Do you want any Girl Scout cookies?
No.
I'm gonna kick your ass! What? If 414 doesn't have to play by the rules, we don't either.
Oh, we are so sorry, Jermaine. Your freckles look really good today.
Jermaine glares at Hiccup and puts her headphones back on.
You know, sometimes it's better to not play by the rules. Shoplifting is a victimless crime, and I wouldn't have ended up selling cookies with you if I weren't assigned community service.
At least you make really good sit-up-ons.
Jermaine pokes Hiccup.
Hey, I bet your cookies taste like garbage.
Alice blocks Hiccup's way before she can swing at Jermaine. Exterior, Harry Tippler Middle School, morning. Coco, breathing heavily, slows down her run as she finally approaches Perry Tipper Middle School. She is sweaty and her face is red. Her hair has mostly survived the journey, but the paintbrush has come a bit loose. Leaning against the school walls, Greta, 14, and Audrey, 13, stand with their lowly sidekick, Jared Pulowski, 13. Greta and Audrey, both members of Troop 414, and look like funhouse versions of Alice and Hiccup. Jared, who has a broken nose, is currently stomping on some ants. As Coco approaches the door to enter, Greta blocks her way.
What's wrong with your hair?
Coco reaches for the paintbrush, suddenly very self-conscious.
Nothing?
There's like something in it.
Jared stomps on some ants to underline Audrey's point.
It's a paintbrush.
That's so fucking weird.
I'm an artist.
I've seen artists before, and they never have paintbrushes in their hair.
A real artist needs to be prepared to paint anything at any time and anywhere. If you guys don't get it, then I'm sorry. Then you just really need to take a class on fine art or something.
A teacher opens the front door and Coco hurries in before the conversation can go any further. Greta, Audrey, and Jared look at each other and laugh. Interior, Miss Guerrero's class, morning. Sitting in a desk, Coco doodles a drawing of a cat on her paper. It is angrily biting a bigger cat's tail. The bigger cat is labeled Max. Sitting right next to Coco is Joshua R., 13, who is asleep at his desk. Joshua R. is small for his age, and at school he's frequently mistaken for a 6th grader. What he lacks in size, he makes up for in charm and jokes that never quite land. Around her, 8th graders chat and laugh and throw small objects across the room. Somehow, Joshua R. does not wake up. Miss Guerrero, 60s, a social studies teacher, positions herself in front of the classroom. Miss Guerrero has worked with middle schoolers for 30 years and has somehow not lost any of her enthusiasm. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. The class ignores Miss Guerrero entirely. The class quiets. Miss Guerrero returns to her pleasant mood. It is my pleasure to introduce a new friend to our class, Kathy. Would you care to introduce yourself, Kathy?
My name is actually Coco. I'm from Milwaukee. That's pretty much it.
Milwaukee's a big city. You must think Oshkosh is pretty quiet compared to all that big city hubbub.
Yeah, I guess.
Very good. On the subject of big city hubbub, today we'll be discussing gerrymandering. Miss Guerrero continues to teach, though her voice muffles as we hone in on Coco again. Coco, relieved, the tension's off of her, begins to doodle in her notebook once again. She draws for a moment before the sound of the classroom door opening makes her look up. Joshua H., 14, 8th grade heartthrob, steps into class. Joshua H. has swooshy hair and looks like he smells like vanilla. He wears an all-black outfit. A penis is doodled in permanent marker on his forearm. Joshua H. sits down in front of the class, in the perfect spot for Coco to admire him. She does. Miss Guerrero marks something on her attendance sheet. Joshua H., tardy, again.
Sorry, Miss Guerrero. I was helping my mom feed the puppies. Our dog just had a litter.
Joshua H. basks in the praise, but tries to look really humble about it. Joshua R. wakes up and looks around, dazed for a moment before eyes landing on Coco. All right, enough. Let's save some enthusiasm for American politics. As Miss Guerrero continues her lecture, Coco smiles softly. She begins to doodle Joshua H., though it's difficult to capture his perfection in a drawing. At the next desk over, Joshua R. looks over Coco's shoulder at her drawing. He taps Coco on the shoulder.
Hey,
What?
I like your drawing.
Yeah, thanks.
Are you in the art club or something?
No, today's my first day.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Coco resumes her drawing, slightly annoyed by the interruption.
You're good enough to be in the art club, I bet.
Joshua R., enough chit-chat.
Oh, sorry.
As I was saying...
My name is Joshua, by the way. Joshua R.
I know. The teacher just called you that.
Oh. That is enough, Kathy and Joshua R.
Sorry. Again.
Don't apologize to me. Apologize to the years of American history that you're disrespecting right now.
I'm sorry. To America.
Yeah, Sorry, America.
A couple classmates giggle as Miss Guerrero shakes her head disapprovingly. Miss Guerrero turns back to the whiteboard. Joshua H. turns and smiles at Coco, and she smiles back. Stunned that they've made eye contact, Joshua R. stares at his desk. Interior lunchroom, day. Close up on Coco's lunch, clearly leftovers from the takeout the other night. A couple of egg rolls, a pile of baby carrots, and a fortune cookie. Coco unfolds a note that was stuck between the egg rolls.
Good luck on your first day of school, honey. Fred helped me make your lunch. He slithered it through the carrots. XOXO, Mom.
Coco picks up a carrot and eyes it, as if deciding to eat it. She does. Coco's completely alone at her lunch table. She looks out the other table as she eats. The table to Coco's right is filled with a group of boys. Two of them punch each other in the chest while they all laugh. The table to Coco's left hosts a group of girls who laugh at one another. Coco looks at them longingly. Jared, Greta, Jojo, and Audrey pass Coco's table. They each hold lunch trays. Jared sips milk from a carton. Audrey slows as she recognizes Coco.
Hey, it's you again.
Yeah.
Look, everybody, it's the girl who said we don't know anything about fine art.
Audrey takes a swig of milk.
So untrue. You guys, know so much fine art.
Yeah, she just said that to be a bitch.
The word hangs in the air for a moment, and Coco finally looks up from her food.
Do you still have that thing in your hair?
Do you?
What?
Coco clears her throat, summoning her courage.
Do you still have that thing on your nose?
Jared Hands reaches for the cast on his nose.
What the fuck? It's none of your fucking business what happened to my nose.
Audrey, Jared, and Greta circle closer on Coco. Coco holds a carrot in front of her, as if it will protect her from the oncoming attack.
Why don't you pick on someone your own size, Pulaski?
She is my size. Bigger, actually.
Yeah, I am. What's wrong with that?
Listen, man, I just said that because that's what they say in the movies. The point is, I don't want to make you relive our Taco Bell incident.
If I remember correctly, you left that one wailing for your mom.
Jared blushes, embarrassed.
You're all losers, you know that?
The pack of bullies walks away. Alice calls after them.
At least we're losers together.
Hey, are you okay?
Yeah, that's the second time they've bothered me today.
It's so annoying.
Greta and Audrey think that they just because that their Drew 415, the 414 is good at selling cookies, that gives them the permission to run the whole school.
Yeah, by the way, would you guys want to eat with me?
Oh, sorry. We can't today. We have our troop meeting.
Isn't the troop just the two of you?
Yeah, but we have to talk about our cookie sales plan for this weekend. That's highly confidential information.
Sorry, Coco. Maybe you can join us next time when you're an official member of the troop.
Sure, maybe next time.
Alice and Hiccup walk off. Coco bites into another egg roll as she opens a fortune cookie that's packed in her lunch. It says, "A faithful friend is a strong defense." Coco crushes the fortune into a ball. Interior, Coco's dining room, evening. Coco, Max, and Dorothy sit around the kitchen table. Spaghetti sits on all their plates. Only Coco is actually eating it. Fred rests in a pile of warm garlic bread.
Because I don't have all day to wait for her to powder her nose or whatever.
Max, it doesn't make it okay to leave your sister at home on a school day.
She got there fine.
I had to run. I showed up all sweaty on my first day.
You would have showed up sweaty anyway. You're always gross and sweaty like a sweat ball.
Take that back!
No.
You are taking her to school on time from now on, or you can say goodbye to your guitar.
When I write my album about this freak show of a family, you'll all be sorry.
Dorothy sighs loudly as Max rushes down the hall to his room. His door slams. We hear the muffled sound of angry guitar coming from his bedroom.
I'm sorry your day started like that, Coco. Was the rest of it okay? Did you make any friends?
Dorothy peels Fred off a slice of garlic bread and bites into it.
Well, not exactly, but I think I might really want to join the Girl Scout troop that I talked about before. They seemed like they might be really cool.
Coco removes a piece of paper from her pocket. It's the email address that Alice gave her earlier.
So, would you email Alice's mom for me and ask if I can join the troop?
Yes, ma'am.
Dorothy takes out her phone. A beep.
Thanks. Oh, and Mom, does my hair look bad like this? With the paintbrush in it?
Dorothy glances up from her phone. Coco takes a bite of spaghetti.
No. You look very creative. Like Picasso. Was someone mean to you about your hair?
Yeah, a little.
Middle school's the worst. Trust me, Coco. You've got to be one tough cookie to survive.
Dorothy's phone dings.
We have a meeting tomorrow with Wanda Lowe. Why do I recognize that name?
Dorothy looks quizzically at her phone. Interior, Alice's living room, day. Coco sits tensely on a couch, looking at a sign that reads, Wanda Lowe for Oshkosh City Council. Let them eat cupcakes. Evidence of Wanda's cupcake business decorates the room. Coco rubs her hands together nervously. Dorothy sits on the other end of the couch. Wanda sits on a nearby chair, holding a clipboard and pen. Her posture is perfect. A woman in scrubs, Eileen, 50s, prepares a syringe at her side.
Got anything on your record?
Like, my permanent record?
Criminal. We're very open-minded here, but it's good to know so that we can submit your community service to court.
I don't have a criminal record. Yet. I don't plan on doing any crimes.
Good.
Wanda marks something on her paper. Eileen begins feeling the skin around Wanda's mouth, which Wanda ignores completely.
Current math grade?
B+. I need a little extra help in math, but I'm more of an art person.
Sure. Well, we could use an artist to help us paint cookie signs.
Oh, that would be cool.
Height and weight? Approximate is fine.
Pass.
Strong sense of boundaries. I can respect that.
Wanda jots this down. Eileen injects Wanda's lips with the syringe.
So, what exactly are you doing?
Wait.
Wanda stretches her lips out a bit, making them a little less numb. Eileen watches, emotionless.
Lip filler. It needs to be touched up once a year.
Oh, doesn't that hurt?
Eileen begins cleaning up her materials. Wanda touches her lips for a second, satisfied their fullness. She slips on a pair of hot secretary glasses.
Coco, I like your style. You're not afraid to ask the difficult questions, so I'm going to go ahead and give you some difficult answers.
Okay.
As women, we need to put in more effort than men do. Men can look like shit and still succeed. Women don't have that luxury.
Wanda hands Eileen the check.
Thanks, Eileen.
Eileen leaves without saying a word.
Right.
Which is why we need to maintain our looks just as much as our minds. People judge you based on the former before they'll even consider the latter. So I consider my facial procedures to be a business investment.
That is so true.
From the far end of the couch, Dorothy readjusts herself. She is clearly very intimidated by Wanda.
So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just noticed some of that, in my own life. I love your glasses, by the way.
Thank you, dear. It's important to me that Troop 415 understands the realities of female life. If you'd like to know more, I've outlined some of my main beliefs in my book.
Wanda hands Dorothy a copy of her book, The Bitch in Business. On the cover, Wanda leans against the desk and holds her glasses lower on her nose. Her eyebrows are raised knowingly.
The sequel comes out next year. The Bitch in Business. Back in business.
Do you use these ideas when leading Troop 415?
Our scouting curriculum is very diverse. While most of it is focused on team building and leadership training, I also sneak in a few sessions on skincare and general grooming. Coco will look and feel like her best self, just as soon as she starts using toner.
Wanda slips a sample of toner out of a nearby drawer and hands it to Coco.
Thanks.
Unless you have any other questions, Coco, I'd be happy to welcome you as part of our troop.
Coco breaks into a grin as Wanda hands her a paper titled Troop 415 Orientation Process. Interior, Coco's front yard, day. Alice and Hiccup, wearing their scout uniforms, stand in front of a giant map of Oshkosh. Hiccup holds a pointer. On the map, Alice has circled various areas and added arrows and commentary with a marker. About half of the city is labeled Troop 415, and the other half is labeled Troop 414. Next to the map is a large piece of butcher paper, which includes the words Troop 415 orientation, followed by 3 bullet points. 1, cookie types. 2, territory. 3, cookie sale roleplay. Cookie sits in front of them in a lawn chair, taking careful notes in a notebook.
Thin Mints are by far the most popular flavor, but because they're a classic cookie, they're the stock that will move the fastest. So, if anybody asks for a flavor recommendation, you should really push the annual specials.
Coco furiously jots us down.
This feels like algebra.
You're in algebra?
No, but this is like what I imagine algebra feels like.
I only scratched the surface.
Begin montage. Alice slips through giant cookie flashcards as Coco struggles to quickly name each one. In the background, Hiccup rifles through Coco's old sidewalk chalk. Alice points to a diagram of Troop 414, which features 3 very unflattering doodles of girls their age. Coco rubs her chin thoughtfully. Hiccup attempts to take a lawnmower apart. Alice and Coco sit in the grass, looking over the map of Oshkosh. Coco tries to draw out a path while Alice shakes her head. Hiccup sits front seat in Dorothy's car in the driveway, pretending to drive. Coco sits across from Hiccup while Alice stands between them taking notes. Hiccup speaks with a terrible British accent.
I don't want any biscuits. I'm diabetic.
No problem, sir. We recently launched a new flavor, sugar-free Toffee-tastics.
Blimey, that would really pair well with shrimp on a barbie.
That's Australian. Stay in character.
Shrimp on the lift.
I'm happy to sell you a box, sir. And I love your tie.
Well, color me shut, I'll buy 20.
Hiccup hands Coco a fistful of money. Coco grins as Alice nods approvingly. Interior, Coco's bedroom, day. Coco adjusts her scout uniform in her bathroom mirror, feeling confident in her new outfit. Interior, Coco's garage, day. Troop 415 sits on the floor of their garage together. Hiccup shows them all the origami fortune teller cootie catcher she made, while Alice and Coco giggle at what she's saying. Dorothy tiptoes into the garage from the kitchen, doing that "I'm barely here" walk that moms do when they want to spy on their kids. She holds a pitcher of lemonade and some glasses in her hands.
Hi, girls. Just wanted to check in and see if anybody wanted any lemonade.
Mom, in the middle of cookie orientation. We haven't even gone to the do-si-dos yet.
I know, sweetie, but even little business women need to stay hydrated.
Is it sugar-free? My mom only lets me have sugar-free at home.
Definitely not. You deserve some sugar. It's hard work being a great troop leader.
Alice's eyes get big. She's not used to getting a mother's approval.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dorothy hands out lemonade to Coco, Alice, and Hiccup. They all sip their lemonade awkwardly for a moment.
And, well, Hiccup, what a unique name you have. Is it your legal name or?
It's not an illegal one.
Yeah. Great, Mom. We're all hydrated. Thank you.
Dorothy clearly wants to linger, but decides to go.
Of course, I'll let you girls continue with your fun.
Dorothy heads back into the house. Alice stares after her for a moment. She takes another sip of lemonade.
Your mom is so nice, Coco.
Yeah. She's embarrassing too, though, sometimes.
All moms are like that.
Some more than others.
Alice takes another sip of her lemonade, savoring its unexpected sweetness. Interior, gym class, day. Coco, wearing a gym uniform, sits on the gym floor. In sit-and-reach style, she attempts to touch her toes. She is unsuccessful. In the corner of the gymnasium, she's watching the rest of the kids in class do their own stretches. They've mostly separated themselves into groups of friends, all except Coco. The gym teacher, Mr. Mustard, 30s, walks around the gym, commenting on student stretches as he passes them. Mr. Mustard was popular during high school and never again after that.
Let's pick it up, Joshua H. This isn't nap time. Jermaine, keep an eye on your form. It's terrible.
Coco tenses as Mr. Mustard walks by her.
Coco, I've seen better stretches at my great-aunt's nursing home. Audrey!
Hiccup bursts through the gym doors and shoves a note into Mr. Mustard's hands.
Hey, Mustard. Apparently Mrs. Yoder can't handle me.
Start stretching, Hiccup, and no funny business.
Hiccup nods solemnly as Mr. Mustard heads into the gym closet. Hiccup notices Coco and grins, then sits next to her.
All right, 2/3 of Troop 415.
You're part of our class now?
Yeah, I got kicked out of the last one.
Why?
Because the school's a prison, that's why.
Mr. Mustard emerges from the gym closet, arms full of rubber balls.
Attention, 8th graders! 2 quick announcements. First, it remains against school policy for students to unionize against their instructors. I thought we could all use that reminder. Second, backed by popular demand, today is Dodgeball Day! Yes, Jermaine.
I thought that dodgeball was illegal after what happened last time.
Actually, Tommy's family settled outside of court. And last I checked, he was walking again. You kids have nothing to worry about. If you're on this side of the gym, your team won.
Coco looks around. On her team is her, Hiccup, Joshua H., Jermaine, and several kids she doesn't recognize.
If you're on the other side, your team too.
Coco looks at their opponents. Joshua R., Jared, the girls at Troop 414, and a gaggle of other kids.
If you get out, sit on the far ends of the gym. If you get out on purpose, it's 40 push-ups. And remember, have fun.
Mr. Mustard drops the balls in the middle of the gym floor. He runs away as kids jostle for the balls, already screaming. Before Coco can register what's happening, balls are flying everywhere. She scrambles to her feet and sees an 8th grader who looks approximately 19 years old whips the ball straight at Jermaine's stomach. A girl in pigtails lies on the gym floor, crying uncontrollably, as another girl pummels her with one of the balls over and over again.
No, please!
2 boys wrestle each other, each trying to get control of the ball. One has a bloody nose and is getting blood all over the other's shirt.
I have a family!
Coco looks around wildly and decides to hide behind Hiccup, who is flinging a ball at Greta. She hits Greta square in the face.
Take that, 414!
Coco flinches as she narrowly misses being hit by a ball.
Hiccup, how do we survive this?
Oh, just like stick by those of us who know what we're doing. I think that's pretty much me or Joshua H.
Hiccup motions to Joshua H., who does a cartwheel to avoid being hit by one of Team 2's balls.
Remember to avoid Jared, because he...
Hiccup is hit in the shoulder by a ball, which was launched by none other than Jared himself. He sticks out his tongue at Hiccup. Hiccup flips him off.
Oh, shit. Good luck out there, Coco. Make 415 proud.
Hiccup retreats to the corner of the gym. A ball whizzes by Coco, who looks around terrified before she finally finds Joshua H. She runs toward him, he runs a different direction, and Coco stays just behind him. Joshua H. turns around, annoyed.
Why are you following me?
It's a dodgeball technique.
Well, it's distracting.
Then it was an accident. On accident, sorry.
Joshua H. catches the ball that's thrown at him, and his whole team cheers. They start chanting, Joshua H! Joshua H!
I also wanted to say, I like your tattoo. It's really funny.
Coco points at the Sharpie penis on Joshua H.'s forearm. Joshua H. picks up a ball and chucks it across the room.
Who are you?
I'm Coco. I'm in your social studies class.
Isn't that the name of a gorilla?
Yeah, but I'm not a gorilla. I'm a girl.
Joshua H. smiles a handsome smile. Coco dodges another ball.
You're kind of funny. Hey, tell me a joke, huh?
A joke?
Suddenly, a dodgeball slams into Joshua H.'s chest. He gasps and flies back at the impact. Coco turns to see through the ball Joshua R. He is panting heavily, eyes wide. Clearly, he didn't think he'd make the shot. Joshua R. runs up to Coco as Joshua H. is dragged to safety by one of the other boys.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hit him that hard.
We were in the middle of a conversation.
But it's dodgeball day.
We were really connecting and getting to know each other, and you ruined it.
I said I was sorry.
Joshua R., back on your team's side, please.
Coco and Joshua R. turn to see Mr. Mustard, who is currently drinking a blue raspberry slushie as he ducks away from the flying dodgeballs. Joshua R. returns to the other side of the gym. A ball flies past Coco's nose. As she glances around, she realizes she's one of the only kids left on her team. As another boy is struck down, she becomes the only kid left on her team.
What's the matter, Coco? You scared?
Coco looks toward Audrey, Jojo, and Tootsie, 13, the local 8th grade pyromaniac. Coco sizes up her competition. Audrey rolls a ball under her feet, scowling. Jojo adjusts her ponytail, glaring at Coco. Jojo somehow looks perfect, even after running around a war zone. These two are the only kids standing on their team. Jojo and Audrey both gear up to throw their balls at Coco. Coco closes her eyes and throws her ball as hard as she can at them and knocks each one of them to the She has just hit Joshua R., who is standing behind Audrey. Troop 414 stares at Joshua R., who is holding his wrist. He appears to be in agony. Mr. Mustard appears from out of nowhere. His slushie is empty.
Congratulations to Team 1! You've won Dodgeball Day!
Eighth graders lit on the floor, all with various levels of injuries. Some of them whimper feebly. Only Coco remains standing, eyes wide. Interior, nurse's office, doorway. Joshua R. sits in a chair, holding a bag of frozen peas to his wrist. Tears are dried on his cheeks. Coco sits next to him, looking at the floor. We have a moment of painfully awkward silence.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you.
I know.
If I was gonna hurt anyone on your team, it would have been Audrey. Or maybe Jared. Not you.
It's okay.
Does it hurt a lot?
Yeah.
Another painfully awkward silence.
Do you like cookies?
Yeah.
Coco takes a box of Girl Scout cookies out from her bag. She opens up the box and offers him one. He takes it with his good hand.
Aren't I supposed to pay for this?
It's on me.
Coco takes out a cookie for herself and eats it. Joshua R. bites into his cookie. Coco's neighborhood day. Alice, Coco, and Hiccup, dressed in their scout uniforms, do the rounds of Coco's neighborhood. Coco has a brightly painted sign on the side of their cookie wagon. It's every color of the rainbow, and it reads, Girl Scout cookies sold here.
And then whack, it hit Joshua R. square in the wrist, and his wrist like shattered into a million pieces.
Wait! Which Josh was that again? Is that the cute one?
Oh, no, it's the one with like glasses.
That is not what happened. It was only a fracture, which hardly hurts at all. I still feel bad about it, though.
You'll get over it. Men are quick to forgive powerful women. That's what my mom says.
Your mom says all kinds of things.
Hey.
Alice pushes Hiccup playfully. Hiccup laughs. Coco glances at the notes she took at Troop 415 orientation. The girls approach a nearby house.
Next up, Mrs. Murata.
Oh, we can skip her. We've already tried her house.
No, I've got this. I ran into her when I first moved into the neighborhood, and she mentioned she likes to paint.
Alice knocks on the door. Miss Murata answers, chewing her gum like in the previous scene.
Good afternoon, Miss Murata.
Okay, it's little Dolly, and she brought her friends.
This is my Girl Scout troop, Troop 415. We were in the neighborhood, so I figured we should stop by and say hello. I've also been curious about what you've been working on lately.
Alice looks at her like, what are you doing? Stick to the script.
Hey, thanks for asking. I'm painting a mural for Tommy's bedroom right now. It's classic car themed, but all the cars are animate, and they each represent a different U.S. president.
Great!
And,
So, anyways, our lemonade.
That sounds amazing. Which president is your favorite?
well, so far, I like Grover Cleveland the best. It means a lot to me that you're interested.
So cool. Well, me and the other girls have to get going now. Thanks for telling me more about your art.
Just as Coco turns around to leave, Miss Murata calls after them.
You know, come to think of it, I may need a few more cookies after all.
Coco turns back to Miss Murata and grins. Begin montage. Troop 415 sells to an elderly woman working in her garden. Alice holds a shovel and helps the woman dig in the dirt as they talk. The woman hands Alice's $10 and 2 boxes of cookies she receives in return. Troop 415 sells to a middle-aged lesbian couple who are enjoying glasses of wine on their porch. Hiccup gives her dog a polite pat on the head, and the couple smiles. They hand her a $20 bill and are given 4 boxes of cookies. Troop 415 sells to a group of elementary schoolers in the street. They pay Troop 415 in handfuls of coins. Once they receive a box of cookies, they all clamor for it at once. Exterior, Mr. Roswell's house, day. Troop 415 stands in front of Mr. Roswell's creepy house, looking nervous.
And that's Mr. Roswell's house. No one sold him to him before. He's creepy. He has a scary voice, and he doesn't smile, and he definitely doesn't eat cookies.
The neighborhood kids say he went to jail in '85 for eating his Jack Russell Terrier.
That can't be true.
No, all the animal shelters around here know about him. It's like illegal to sell him another terrier.
So he could buy a different type of dog.
I don't know. I guess he just prefers the way terriers taste.
You can't trust somebody like that What if he gets really hungry and there are no terriers available, but there are 3 girls sitting on his porch?
Alice and Coco shiver in horror. Coco rolls her eyes and begins to walk toward the door.
Wait! It's not safe.
Coco stops walking.
Alice, he's just an old man. He's not a murderer.
If he's not a murderer, then how come there's blood on his porch?
Coco glances at his porch. Sure enough, there are red droplets scattered around the floor.
That's not blood. It's paint.
Coco knocks on the door. Alice and Hiccup panic and hide behind bushes at the end of Mr. Roswell's lawn. Hiccup waves from behind the bush.
It was nice knowing you, Coco. Hasta la vista.
Coco frowns and knocks again.
Hello? Mr. Roswell?
We hear the heavy sound of footsteps slowly approaching the door. Coco gets increasingly nervous with the sound of each echoing footstep.
We wanted to see if you wanted some cookies?
The footsteps reach a crescendo with a huge stomp on the other side of the door, which remains closed. A voice that sounds like an angry old turtle croaks out.
What did you say, little girl?
Coco looks down at her feet. From under the door, red liquid drips out of the house and onto the porch. It reaches Coco's sneakers and drips onto her toes. Coco runs back toward Alice and Hiccup. Exterior, Menominee Park, sunset. Alice, Hiccup, and Coco sit on swings. They're not exactly swinging, just kind of swaying. Alice counts names on a list.
48, 49. We sold 50 boxes.
Oh, I guess we could get the big cookie badge after all.
Big cookie badge?
Oh, shit. We forgot to tell her about the big cookie badge.
It goes to the troupe that sells the most cookies in the county. It's a real honor to receive.
Honor schmonner. Tell her about the actually cool part.
And the winners get free tickets to the state fair. Whoa, the one with the cream puffs?
Hell yeah, the one with the cream puffs!
If we win the big cookie badge, we don't only get fair tickets, we get free rides and free snacks, including cream puffs, and a fast pass to skip all the long lines.
That sounds amazing.
If we keep selling at this rate, we'll outsell Troop 414.
Don't we have to outsell other troops too?
Oh, come on, Coco. It's only troops 414 and 415 in Oshkosh. In the rest of the county, we're going against the troops in like Amro and Nina. They don't have anyone to sell to but cows.
Huh. I've never won anything before.
Alice and Hiccup both stop swinging.
Really? Not even a spelling bee?
Or like a yo-yo trick competition?
No, I've only ever gotten participation trophies. It'd be really cool to win something for once. All right, folks, we're halfway through Troop 415. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
A spelling bee?
Or a yo-yo trick competition?
No, I've only ever gotten participation trophies. It would be really cool to win something for once.
Exterior, Farm and Fleet, day. Alice and Hiccup sit at a table outside their local farm and fleet, still dreamily considering the possibilities of attending the state fair. Stacks and stacks of cookies sit behind them. Coco crouches in front of their table, perfecting a hand-painted sign advertising World's Best Girl Scout Cookies from World's Best Girl Scout Troop, Troop 415.
We just have to figure out a way to get an edge over Troop 414.
The girls look up, alarmed, as a hand suddenly drops a collection of paintbrushes onto the table.
Mom made me drop these off for you. She said you might need them for your sign.
We see Max scowling at Coco as she stands up. He wears a t-shirt for AC/DC or the Grateful Dead or one of those other teenage boy t-shirt bands.
Me personally, I don't give a shit about your sign, but Mom apparently does, and so I had to waste like an entire $1 of gas just to drive them all the way over here.
Max punches Coco softly on the shoulder to accentuate his point. It's not hard, but she reacts dramatically anyway.
Ow! Aren't you a little old to be punching your sister?
Who the hell are you?
Alice stands.
I'm Alice, and I happen to be Coco's best friend.
Well, I thought we were all equally friends, like a threesome.
A trio.
A trio, not a threesome. Gross.
Would you like any cookies as long as you're here?
I don't want your garbage cookies.
Do you want to pass your math class?
What?
Max, right? We're in the same geometry class.
You're not in high school.
I'm advanced. I currently have an A in Mrs. Leon's geometry class, and I sit in front of you. And I hear you complain to Pedro Yanez every time you get a 0 on the homework, which is every day, because you don't do the homework.
What do you want?
We want the big cookie badge, and you happen to be a teenage boy, which is the demographic we are most interested in selling to. You eat the highest quantity of junk food. If you sell our cookies at your school, I'll do your geometry homework for the rest of the year.
You've got to be joking.
She's not. She does math problems for fun.
Just take orders from your friends, collect $5 per box, and I'll personally deliver them to their houses.
For homework the entire rest of the year. Plus answers to the tests. And extra credit assignments.
I'll do extra credit and throw in 1 bag of weed I stole from my uncle.
Sold.
Thanks for the brushes, Max. You can go now.
Coco collects the paintbrushes on the table and sits down near Hiccup.
Bye, Coco.
Max does a weird teenage boy air guitar move before leaving.
Pleasure doing business with you.
As Max heads back to his car, Coco, Alice, and Hiccup look at each other and start laughing.
I can't believe you just did that. We're totally gonna win.
Coco's distracted by Mr. Roswell as he wanders by Troop 415's stand. Mr. Roswell is dazed and holding his garden hose. It drags on the ground behind him like a very sad snake.
Legend has it, Mr. Roswell has never put down his garden hose.
Mr. Roswell glares at the girls.
What did you say, little Boy Scouts?
Nothing, sir.
No, thank you. I'm all stocked up on popcorn already.
Mr. Roswell waves around his garden hose, and to the girls' horror, a drop of water flies out the hose and onto their Troop 415 sign. It sits still for a second, then slowly begins dripping down the sign, and paint colors start to drip off with it.
My sign!
Mr. Roswell stomps away. Coco frantically tries to stop the bleeding with her shirt, to no avail. Coco looks around frantically, realizing they don't have anything to clean up with. She gets to her feet and heads to the Farm and Fleet door.
Shit, crap. Be right back.
Interior, Farm and Fleet checkout day. Coco rushes into the Farm and Fleet, brushing past several shelves of trail mix and hunting supplies. She scans the cashiers, but is disappointed to find old lady after old lady, all wrapped up in orange Farm and Fleet vests. She jogs past the checkout into the aisles. Farm and Fleet aisles day. Coco is just starting to run out of breath when she spots Joshua R., who's in the middle of folding a large stack of camouflage jackets. He looks particularly small in his giant Farm and Fleet employee vest.
Joshua R!
Oh, hey, Coco. you look nice today, like someone in a yogurt commercial.
Do you have any paper towels?
We probably have some in the storeroom.
Coco runs to the door before Joshua R. can finish that sentence. Interior, Farm and Fleet storeroom 2, day. Coco bursts into the room, panting a little. She freezes like an alarmed deer when she sees Joshua H. leaning against the shelf of cleaning supplies. Joshua H. strolls on his phone. His Farm and Fleet vest frames his shoulders in a way that's somehow way more flattering than Joshua R.'s vest. He glances up at Coco, seeming disinterested, in a cool way.
Hey,
Hi.
you're Coco, right? The girl?
Yeah. Not the gorilla.
Do you like work here?
No, just looking for something.
Joshua H. nods thoughtfully and goes back to scrolling. Coco admires his floppy hair for a second and starts to forget about paper towels. She steps a little closer to Joshua H.
I guess I've been kind of, daydreaming.
About what?
You're going to think it's stupid.
No.
You're going to think it's just so freaking.
No, Joshua H. I would never.
I've been thinking about my first kiss.
Coco's jaw drops. Not only is she alone in a room with Joshua H., but he's offering her intimate information.
You're a kiss virgin?
Yeah. Wow. I've never told anyone that before. You must think I'm such a loser.
No, I honestly, I haven't had my first.
I just hope that whenever I do have my first kiss, it's with a really special girl.
Coco's heart rate accelerates to a near deadly speed.
I can.
Joshua R. bursts into the break room, holding paper towels.
Coco, I found you paper towels.
Can't you see we're busy?
I thought you needed these.
Joshua R. holds up the paper towels with his casted arm. Coco looks at the cast with guilt for a second, then takes the paper towels.
Sorry, I mean, thank you. Bye. Joshua's.
Coco rushes out the storeroom door, paper towels clutched to her chest. Exterior, Farm and Fleet, day. Coco exits the Farm and Fleet holding the paper towels and looking like she's just seen a ghost. She bends down and begins fixing the Troop 415 poster with the paper towels, though it's been a little too long and the poster is now streaked with colors.
Dude, you missed a family with like 19 kids. They bought each kid a box.
Do you think I'm a special girl?
I don't know. Can you do a cartwheel?
No. Alice, do you think I'm a special girl?
How did you do on your last literacy essay?
Just okay.
But you're good at painting, though.
Maybe you could be a special girl if you improved yourself a little bit. That's what my mom always tells me. Maybe we can all be special girls someday.
Yeah. Maybe I'll be one someday.
Coco looks off into the parking lot and sees Greta, Audrey, and Jojo, Troop 414, through the window in the back of a minivan. They giggle with each other. Jojo glances out the window towards Troop 415, then quickly turns away. Coco watches them, suddenly a little panicked, though she can't put her finger on why. Interior, middle school cafeteria, day. Coco helps Joshua R. go through the lunch line by holding his tray for him.
But Adam West was part of the show first. So that's why I like his Batman movie the best. Because me and my dad really like watching the show together. So it's almost like nostalgic, if that's the right word. Plus, Adam West is funny.
That's really awesome.
Coco and Joshua R. sit down next to Hiccup and Alice, who are already eating.
Are you wearing lip gloss?
Yeah. So?
It looks kind of weird. Like your lips are all like slimy or something.
Hiccup, that's rude.
What?
Coco's allowed to make her lips look slimy if she wants to, and it's none of our business. Women support women.
Coco wipes her lips on her sleeve. Troop 414 passes by their lunch table. Hey, Troop 415.
We have individual names, you know.
Yeah, like Hiccup.
When my boyfriend gets out of juvie,
We don't really have time to chat, Audrey. We're having a troop meeting. about what kind of snacks we'll be eating when we go to the state fair.
Whoa, you guys are going to the state fair?
If we win the big cookie badge, yeah. Also, why are you sitting here?
I wouldn't be so sure of that. We just fulfilled an order at Bellman Funeral Home. They needed hundreds of cookies for their latest funeral.
You mean for Amelia Daly's funeral? The kid who died from hypothermia?
Yeah, like, obviously it was super sad, but still, we made a huge sale out of it.
That's messed up.
The point is, watch your back, and just hope that nobody else around this town dies of hypothermia. Because if they do, we'll totally get the big cookie badge.
Troop 414 tries to look threatening as they leave Troop 415's lunch table. They almost succeed. Interior, middle school hallway, day. Later, a school bell rings as Coco walks down the hallway, scowling a little. She passes Joshua H., who wears a Joker t-shirt. He waves at her.
Hey, girly girl. I have a note for you.
Really?
Yeah, you can read it if you want.
Why did you write me a note when you could just, like, talk to me right now?
I wrote the note in case I got shy.
But you aren't shy at all.
Read the note.
Oh, okay.
Coco opens a notebook paper. In handwriting that looks more 6th grade than 8th grade, Joshua H. has written, "Will you go on a date with me?" Coco gasps aloud. She tries not to faint.
Yes, I'd love to.
Oh, I thought maybe you would write me a note back since I wrote you one.
But you're right here, and I don't have a pen, so.
Here.
Coco scrawls yes on the note and hands it to Joshua H. He reads it.
All right. Awesome. Maybe we can meet around the Idaho Potato Park on Saturday. Around what?
I'll be there. It'll be great.
Joshua H. grins. Coco grins too. Interior, Coco's dining room, day. Coco, Max, and Dorothy sit at the dinner table, eating hamburgers and fries. Fred slithers through the French fries. Coco's no longer grinning. In fact, she looks like she's on the verge of hyperventilating. Max and Dorothy look mildly concerned.
It'll be great.
Well, I'm glad you're making friends.
Your new friend is a boy?
Yeah? Boys and girls can be friends. It's called maturing and growing up and not being in 1st grade anymore.
Yeah, but it's just the two of you, so to me, that sounds more like a date.
Then why don't you go on any dates now?
Screw you.
A date? I thought this was just a friend. A date's a little different, honey.
So what if it is? We're just gonna, like, hang out at the park.
What if he starts having sex with you?
Max!
I'm just saying, she's a kid. She doesn't know what to do and what not to do. She could get that one disease where there are crabs all over your junk.
There's a disease?
There's a lot at risk here. Not that I even care.
Why does anybody have sex if there's a disease?
Coco, are you planning to have sex with this young man? In a park?
No. I haven't even had my first kiss yet. At this rate, I'm never gonna have sex ever in my entire life, and you guys are not helping.
Coco storms off to her room. Interior, Coco's bedroom, later. Coco sniffs and wipes her tears as she works on a new painting. It's of the Joker. It's pretty good, but also looks a little goofy. Like each of his features aren't quite the right size. There's a soft knock on Coco's door. Coco hesitates, then puts down her paintbrush and heads to the door. Interior, Coco's hallway, evening. She slowly opens it, revealing a paper plate full of French fries on the floor. Attached is a note that reads,
"You forgot these. Fred thought you might want them. Mom."
Coco looks at the fries for a beat, then takes them into her room, closing the door. Interior, Coco's bedroom, evening. She's eating one of the fries when there's another knock. Coco heads to the door again and opens it. Interior, Coco's hallway. This time, there's an envelope on the ground, along with a sheet of paper. The paper reads,
Orders for Troop 415. Spike, 4 boxes of Thin Mints. Roxanne, 2 boxes of Caramel Delights.
There are dozens more orders. Coco investigates the envelope. On the outside, it reads, Max's cookie orders. She opens it, and it's filled to the brim with cash. Exterior, Idaho Potato Park, day. Coco sits on a blanket in the grassy part of the park. She's ways away from the playground, in case she should end up needing privacy for kissing during her date. Coco watches kids playing on the playground, chasing each other and laughing. She pulls down the crop top she's wearing in an effort to cover more of her stomach. Next to Coco is her painting of the Joker. It looks a little nicer than the previous scene, though something on his smile is creepy in the wrong way. She pulls down her crop top again. Finally, Joshua H. approaches the blanket from across the park. He looks sleepy, yet also dazzlingly handsome. He carries a tote bag.
Hey,
Hey, hi, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah.
Joshua H. sits next to Coco on the blanket. Coco gestures to the Joker painting.
Hey, I made you this. To thank you for going on a date with me.
Joshua H. picks it up to get a closer look.
Wow. Did you trace this?
No, it was all freehand.
Oh. Huh. I can't believe you did have to trace it.
Coco shrugs like she didn't spend 7 hours painting it.
No problem.
Ashley and Geisney, too.
Joshua H. takes a bag of cheese puffs out of his tote bag. He places it carefully onto the blanket. Then he digs deeper into the bag and takes out a single, slightly smashed carnation.
I took this from my mom's garden.
Coco takes the carnation and admires it. Something about it being a little destroyed makes it even more charming.
That's so nice. Thank you.
Coco puts the carnation beside her on the blanket. There's a long, uncomfortable pause. They both stare at the kids playing at the playground.
So, like, what are your hobbies?
Well, as you can see, I like art a lot. Van Gogh is my favorite painter because he was really talented, but also really sad. And I think that's really beautiful.
Van Gogh?
Yeah, he's like a really famous artist.
Do you mean Picasso?
No, Van Gogh did Starry Night and the one of the sunflowers. Picasso was different. He did Cubism.
You're so smart. You know a lot of different words.
Thanks.
Coco blushes. Is Joshua H. being nicer than normal? She ignores the thought and opens the bag of cheese puffs. Joshua H. gets a little closer to Coco so that he can reach the cheese puffs. He pops one in his mouth.
So what are your hobbies?
Video games? Mostly. When I graduate from high school, I'm going to move to New York City and start my own gaming company.
That's so cool. New York looks awesome.
Coco eats a cheese puff.
I went on a trip there with my grandparents once, and I saw this Empire State Building, and everything, the whole 9/11 thing, and that was kind of a bummer though.
Yeah, 9/11 was a total bummer.
That was my first time leaving Oshkosh. I couldn't believe how much cooler the rest of the world is, and how much better the hot dogs are.
Joshua H. looks thoughtfully into the distance, and Coco marvels how cultured and worldly he is. He eats another cheese puff.
Why have you ever left Wisconsin?
No, but I did just move here from Milwaukee. So I guess I kind of know what the big city is like.
Why did you move?
Because my mom got a job here. She really needed one after my dad died.
Joshua H. is about to put another cheese puff into his mouth, but decides to put it down as a sign of respect.
I'm sorry. I don't really know anyone that's died before.
That's okay.
A beat. Joshua H. puts his hand on Coco's. His fingers are coated in cheese puff dust, but it's still pretty sweet.
I'm glad that you moved here.
Thank you. I am too.
Coco weaves her own cheesy fingers through Joshua H.'s.
Lots of other people are too, like those Girl Scouts that you hang with.
Alice and Hiccup are awesome. Like, we think that we're on track to win the big cookie badge this season, if we sell enough cookies.
For sure. Hey, about that. Can I ask you something?
Of course.
Joshua H. leans in towards Coco. He was now closer to her than any preteen boy has ever been in Coco's life.
Where do you keep all the cookies?
Why would you want to know that?
I just want to know everything about you. I just think that you're so cool.
I'm sorry, but that's highly secret troop information.
Hey, sharing secrets will make me feel closer to you.
Coco gets lost in Joshua H's eyes and decides that he's cute enough to be trusted.
We keep them in the Farm and Fleet storeroom.
Really? I'm in the stockroom all the time and never seen them before.
They're not in the regular stock room. There's another one near the garden hose aisle. It's a secret.
You're too funny, Coco. Can I ask you something else?
Yes?
Can I kiss you?
Yes?
Okay.
They kiss. It is a little gross, but also deeply magical for Coco. The kiss lasts 1.5 seconds, and then Joshua H. pulls away.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
They both turn back towards the playground. The kids there continue to laugh and play. Interior, middle school gym, day. Coco and Hiccup do stretches as they wait for gym class to start. Hiccup is getting pretty elaborate with her stretches, but Coco's mainly just sitting on the floor, looking dreamy.
And he even gave me a carnation. Honestly, the whole date was kind of magical. I feel like an adult woman. Maybe I should start using tampons.
You're lucky. All I got from my first kiss was bronchitis.
Suddenly, the gym door swings open, and Alice rushes toward Hiccup and Coco. She looks flustered in a way we've never seen her. Her hair is unkempt, her eyes are panicked. She has her cell phone in one of her hands.
The cookies are gone.
Hiccup, who is in the middle of a backbend, drops to the floor.
What?
Mr. Mustard walks over. Other kids start to look in the direction of the spectacle.
I'm gonna need you to go back to your class, little lady.
My mom just stopped by the stockroom to check our inventory. There are no cookies left.
That can be true. No one even knows where the cookies are.
Coco's eyes widen as she realizes that's no longer true. She looks towards Joshua H. on the other side of the gym. Joshua H. doesn't notice Coco's attention right away. He's too busy laughing and play fighting with Greta. Eventually, he glances at Coco, then very quickly averts eye contact.
I don't know how it happened, but my mom is here to pick us up so we can go check it out.
Coco and Hiccup stand up to follow Alice out. Coco and Hiccup storm right past Mr. Mustard as they head for the door.
Ladies, you need a hall pass to be excused from class.
Not if it's a trophy emergency!
Troop 415 rushes out the gym door. Greta looks after them and smirks, giving Joshua H. a high five. Interior, Farm and Fleet storeroom 1. Alice, Coco, and Hiccup stare at a completely empty shelf in the Farm and Fleet storeroom.
No more Thin Mints. No more peanut butter patties.
It's too late to even order more from corporate. All they have left is shortbreads if we're lucky.
Coco sits on the floor of the closet and puts her head in her hands. Alice sits next to her. Then Hiccup sits next to them too.
The big cookie badge is gonna go to Troop 414. We won't even get a participation trophy.
They're the ones that don't get to go to the fair.
And we just have to stay home and be sad.
Wanda peeks her head into the closet. Her makeup is insanely perfect for a casual trip to Farm and Fleet.
Everything okay in here, girls?
No, obviously.
I don't need the sass, Hiccup.
No, obviously, ma'am.
Wanda walks in the closet and closes the door behind her. She locks it, then turns around slowly.
I didn't want to be conspiratorial, but there's something I think you should know.
Troop 415 looks at each other confused. Wanda starts to pace the closet like a detective.
After Alice gave me the key this morning, I went straight here before work, around 7 a.m. As I approached this closet, I saw someone leaving from this general direction. An employee about your age, silky disposition, a bit of a David Cassidy look-alike. I remember I thought it was strange because I never see boys your age working that early on a school day. He was pushing a shopping cart to the front door, but whatever was inside was covered by a blanket. Something about him was just off.
Wait, who is David Cassidy?
Joshua H. is David Cassidy. Joshua H. stole our cookies.
But why would this Joshua want your cookies?
He was flirting with Greta today.
What? No way.
No, he was definitely flirting. She took his hat and wore it, and he was laughing and play fighting with her to get it back. Joshua H. was up to stealing by Troop 414. He's a saboteur.
Wait a second. That's the Joshua Coco went on a date with on Saturday, isn't it?
No.
Hiccup and Alice stand up too, getting angry.
Yeah, it was. You told Joshua H. where our cookies were, all because you took away your kiss virginity.
I thought I could trust him. He gave me a flower. You gave away our troop secrets for some guy? I thought he was just asking me questions because that's what people do on a date.
Not cool, Coco. Really not cool.
Hiccup and Alice start to walk past Coco. She follows them, desperate. Alice turns,
I hope your first kiss was worth it.
then leaves the room. With Hiccup and Wanda behind her, Coco looks after them. Interior, Coco's living room, day. Coco sits on her couch, watching TV while cuddled in a blanket. Her eyes are puffy like she's been crying. Dorothy enters the room.
Coco, did you skip class today? I just got a call from your school.
Dorothy sits next to Coco on the couch. Coco takes a deep breath, trying to remain calm.
Yes. But it was for a really good reason. Someone stole all our Girl Scout cookies.
You cannot be skipping class regardless of what's going on with your Girl Scout troop. You can't sacrifice your education for some large cookie badge. I'm going to have to ground you.
Please, Mom.
I'm sorry, honey, but you need to reevaluate your priorities right now.
Dorothy leaves the room. Coco starts to cry again. Insert montage. Coco tries to talk to Joshua H. in her locker. He looks at her like she's a bug, then turns around and starts joking around with Troop 414. Coco sits at home, staring at the empty canvas in her bedroom. She lifts her paintbrush to it, then puts her paintbrush back down. She sees her art contest participation trophy from across the room and throws it in the garbage. End montage. Interior, middle school cafeteria, day. Alice and Hiccup sit together at a lunch table. They look on as Coco sits at an empty table near them. Coco unpacks her lunch, trying not to make eye contact. After a beat, Joshua R. sits down next to Coco.
Hey, shouldn't you be sitting next to your friends?
They don't want to sit next to me.
Oh, that's really sad.
Coco and Joshua R. eat their lunches next to each other, each looking forward. They're silent for a beat.
Thanks for sitting by me, even though I messed up your wrist.
It's okay. It's almost better anyway.
That's good.
Listen, I think I might know something that could be valuable to you.
Like what?
Like where your cookies are hidden.
What?
Quiet. You don't know who could be around. I overheard Joshua H. bragging to his friends about it, and the last thing I want is for some sporty jock losers to break my other wrist.
Sorry.
It's okay. Do you know Pig Latin?
Coco looks around them, then returns to her sandwich, feigning calm.
I can understand it, but I'm not fluent.
In nomine me, arcpe, uze, irne ethe, apukine, unke me, exhibit ye.
The Menominee Zoo? Near the Capuchin monkey exhibit? Why would they hide the cookies there?
Think about it. If True 414 randomly came home with dozens of boxes of cookies, their parents would ask them questions. They had to keep them somewhere that only they knew about. And Joshua H.'s dad is the zookeeper for all the primates. Joshua H. probably sold the key to the shed from him.
Thank you.
All in a day's work. It's what Batman would do.
Joshua R. closes his lunchbox and gets a top secret spy suitcase, then leaves Coco to eat the rest of her lunch alone. Interior, Coco's hallway, evening. Coco hesitates in front of Max's bedroom door, which is covered in metal band posters that are a little nauseating to look at. There is the sound of an out-of-tune guitar strumming from inside his room. She finally finds the courage to knock.
What?
Can we talk for a sec?
Can't you talk to one of your little friends instead?
No, actually I can't.
Max opens the door. He has his guitar.
I'm in trouble right now for like maybe the first time in my entire life, and because you're in trouble like all the time, I thought maybe you'd be able to help.
Maybe. What's up?
Troop 414 stole all of our cookies. I'm not going to tell you how, because it doesn't even matter, but basically, a boy betrayed me and I need to make things right. But the problem is that Mom grounded me, so I need you to cover for me so that I can go and get our cookies back.
What do I get in return?
I'll look up to you as a role model.
Max starts to close his bedroom door. Coco shoves her way into his room and closes the door behind her.
I won't tell Mom that you smoke pot.
Nobody says pot anymore.
Mom does, and she doesn't like pot.
You never threaten me.
Yeah, it's really important.
Where are you going?
The Menominee Park Zoo.
I'm going with you.
No, you're gonna mess everything up.
You're going to mess everything up without me. How are you going to get there without a car? And how will you carry all the cookies back?
I'll walk.
In the dark? You'll get murdered by one of those child murderers.
No, I...
We're going together, and that's that. Sneak into my car, I'll make up some story to tell Mom and meet you there.
Max leaves his room, a look of determination on his face. Interior, Max's car, evening. Coco looks around nervously as Max dashes towards the driver's side door of the car. They've both changed into black clothes. Max sits in the driver's seat and starts the car. Fred is wrapped around his neck.
We're taking Fred to the vet. He's been throwing up pink stuff, and it's time we took responsibility as young pet owners.
Max starts driving towards the zoo.
That's all it took?
Mom has a huge soft spot for Fred. She sees this as a learning opportunity or whatever. Plus, Fred will be great protection against the monkeys.
Max takes Fred off of himself and puts him on Coco. Exterior, Menominee Park Zoo entrance, night. Max and Coco approach the locked zoo gates. Coco carries Fred on her shoulders. Max expertly climbs to the fence and is about to launch himself to the other side when...
Wait, help me up.
Coco, you can do it. Remember when we used to climb trees as a kid? You went even higher than me.
Yeah, I guess I did.
Coco climbs up the gate, slowly at first, then more confidently.
But I could climb way higher than you now, of course.
Exterior, Menominee Park Zoo, night. Max jumps down into the other side of the fence.
Yeah, whatever. Where's security?
It's the Oshkosh Zoo, Coco. They don't expect anyone to steal the goats.
Coco holds Fred close to her body, then jumps to the ground. Exterior, Menominee Park Zoo path, night. Max and Coco tiptoe down the zoo's path, passing various small-town zoo animals, goats, pheasants, raccoons. Fred lets out a half-hearted tss when they pass a snake. Finally, Max and Coco reach the Capuchin Monkey exhibit. Just to the side of the exhibit, they see Greta, Audrey, and JoJo. The three of them have a spread of Girl Scout cookies in front of them, as if they're taking stock.
Wait, stop. Who is that?
Exterior, Capuchin Monkey exhibit, night. Coco and Max duck behind a sign that teaches them about the wonders of Capuchin monkeys. Coco peeks out from behind it, then whispers to Max.
It's Troop 414. They're the ones that told Joshua H. to steal our cookies.
Fred starts hissing. Coco stuffs them into her pocket in an effort to keep him quiet. She and Max watch Troop 414 for a beat. What do you think you're going to eat at the fair if we win the big cookie badge?
I want one of those pizza slices in the shape of a cone. Joshua H. and I can share it, which will be so romantic.
Max and Coco watch them, seething with anger.
I'm gonna karate chop them.
No.
I'm being serious right now. I can do it. I watched a bunch of YouTube tutorials.
That doesn't mean that you can just go around karate chopping people.
They're selling your cookies, Coco.
Hello?
Max emerges from behind the sign. Coco follows him. Troop 414 forms a protective circle around the cookies.
Hey, dumbass. You think it's cool to mess with my sister?
Who are you?
I'm Coco's brother. I'm in high school and I'm not afraid to karate chop you if I have to.
What's wrong, Coco? You can't fight your own battles?
You're one to talk. You got Joshua H. to pull a whole heist to steal our cookies.
To tell the truth, we didn't think you'd fall for it, but it turns out you're the weakest link, since you're the newbie.
I may be new to cookie selling, but I do know one thing for sure. Right now, Troop 414 is going against the Girl Scout law. You are not being honest and fair, or friendly and helpful. And you are definitely not being a sister to every Girl Scout.
You actually believe that shit?
It's all for kids, Coco. All of us join the Girl Scouts for the trips to the state fair and to make out with the Boy Scouts at camp.
Coco backs up from Troop 414, horrified. Fred squirms in Coco's pocket. She nudges him deeper into her pocket.
But the Girl Scouts are meant to empower girls through friendship, and the Boy Scouts suck. Everybody knows that.
Fred starts to hiss quietly. Coco thinks on her feet and slowly takes Fred out of her pocket.
Just give us back our cookies and no one will get hurt.
No way! That big cookie badge belongs to... Wait a second. Is that a snake? Jojo nervously points toward Coco's raised hand, where she holds Fred like a weapon.
It's not just any snake. His name is Fred, and he's an honorary member of Troop 415.
Becoming more confident, Coco begins to advance. Troop 414 backs away from the cookies as she heads towards them, looking terrified of Fred. Max follows Coco and begins stuffing cookies into his backpack as quickly as possible. Suddenly, Greta tries to snatch Max's bag.
No way! Hey-ya!
Max karate chops in Greta's general direction. While Max completely misses hitting Greta's body, she still jumps away in alarm. Coco grabs the remaining cookies and stuffs them into her own bag. She keeps Fred raised threateningly. Exterior, Menominee Park Zoo Path, night. Coco and Max run in the opposite direction. Coco can't help but call out one last thing.
That was for messing with Troop 415.
Coco bursts into giggles and they run back to the car. Exterior, Perry Tipler Middle School, morning. Coco nervously approaches Hiccup and Alice, who are leaning against the middle school wall before class starts for the day. Hiccup attempts to do tricks with a yo-yo.
Hey, how are you guys?
We've been good. I memorized pi, and Hiccup learned a new yo-yo trick.
Hiccup does the yo-yo trick, looking deadly serious.
That's really cool.
I know.
Why are you here, Coco?
Oh, yeah, sure. I wanted to say I'm sorry for telling Joshua H. where our cookies were. Also, yesterday, me and my brother got the cookies back, so everything can go back to normal now.
Your brother? You don't even like him. You're lying to us like you did before.
Hiccup throws her yo-yo up in the air to underline her point.
I didn't lie before. I just didn't tell you every single detail about my date. You can come over to my house. I'll show you the cookies.
Why would we trust you, Coco? You betrayed us. And, in a way, you betrayed Girl Scouts everywhere.
The bell rings for class to start. Hiccup and Alice stomp into the school, leaving a dejected Coco behind them. Interior, Coco's living room, day. Coco lies in the middle of her living room floor, staring blankly at the ceiling. Fred slithers across her arm in a semi-comforting way. Dorothy walks into the living room.
Hey, you doing okay?
No. I'm the worst Girl Scout in the world. And maybe also the worst human being.
Dorothy sits on the couch.
It's tough being 13.
Yeah. It's tougher than fighting in a war.
Fred slithers off of Coco entirely. She grabs him and rests him against her arm again.
But at least you get to have a Little Caesars pizza dinner. I don't think they get that in the Army.
I don't feel like joking right now.
Right, sorry. What do you feel like doing?
Painting.
Then I think you should paint.
I can't. I'm sad.
Didn't Van Gogh paint all the time when he was sad?
No. It's a common misconception. But he actually painted most of his work when he was feeling good. When he was sad, he was cutting off his ear and mailing it to people.
That's right. Do you feel like doing that?
No.
Good.
I guess I'll just paint.
Exterior, Coco's neighborhood, day. Close up on a colorful abstract sign advertising Coco's Cookies. It's taped to one end of a wooden wagon, which is filled with the Girl Scout cookies Coco and Max recovered from Troop 414. Coco drags the wagon behind her as she walks through her neighborhood. Montage as Coco is rejected by neighbor after neighbor. Miss Murata gestures to a wall of Thin Mints in her living room. A little boy turns his pockets inside out, showing he doesn't have any money. A middle-aged man shakes his head no and slams the door. Exterior, Mr. Roswell's house, day. A defeated Coco drags her wagon to the last house she hasn't approached, Mr. Roswell's. It's as dark and creepy as ever. A low howling seems to be coming from the basement. Coco squares her shoulders and begins to head towards the house. Exterior, Mr. Roswell's doorstep, day. Coco knocks on Mr. Roswell's door. She waits for a moment as she hears heavy thuds make their way towards the door. The sound of heavy breathing on the other side, then the door opens a crack. Mr. Roswell's piercing eyes peek out at Coco.
Who is it?
This is your neighbor, Coco? I'm with Troop 415.
I don't need any popcorn, thanks.
I'm a Girl Scout, not a Boy Scout.
Is that so? I need my glasses.
Mr. Roswell disappears from the door for a second, then reappears wearing glasses. He opens the door a little further. From the house, a dog yaps. Coco shivers, remembering what Alice and Coco told her about Mr. Roswell eating Jack Russell Terriers.
I was wondering whether you'd like to support a young female entrepreneur and also...
With all due respect, Yoko, I'm a little too busy right now to hear the whole spiel.
Mr. Roswell opens the door even further. We get a glimpse of his patched-old cardigan, his wild hair, and sure enough, his fingers, red with what looks like blood. Coco backs up.
Would you like to buy some Girl Scout cookies?
Girl Scout cookies? The Girl Scouts never visit my house. Most of them are too afraid.
Yeah, there are some weird rumors about you.
Mr. Roswell opens the door even further, revealing his other hand, which is holding a paintbrush.
Wait, you like to paint?
Well, what I do isn't painting exactly. It's creative dog grooming.
Mr. Roswell opens his door completely, revealing a Jack Russell Terrier, Polka, dyed pink with yellow and red polka dots. He roughs at Coco.
It's my passion, and dogs love it, too. Well, most of them do. I did have a Jack Russell Terrier run away a few years back.
Coco motions the drips of red paint on Mr. Roswell's porch.
Dog grooming, but you have blood on your porch.
That is red hair dye, thank you very much. And it made Polka look terrific.
But your voice is creepy, and you carry around that hose all the time.
I smoked for 40 years before I discovered the de-stressing powers of creative dog grooming, and I used the hose to rinse the dye off the dogs. Most of them look like it more than being dunked in a bath.
Polka walks over the door. His colorful fur looks bizarre, but he still pants happily. Mr. Roswell gives him a scratch.
Isn't that right, Polka? Here, check out my work.
Mr. Roswell pulls out his phone and shows Coco several photos of dogs with elaborate dye jobs, each one more colorful and quirky than the last.
You couldn't do that to my pet snake, could you?
Probably not. They don't like to sit still.
I like to make art too.
Coco motions to the colorful sign on the wagon.
Ah, it's almost of Pollock-esque.
Yeah, I like Pollock. Van Gogh's my favorite though.
Ah, Van Gogh, a woman of taste.
Mr. Roswell disappears from the door for a moment, then returns with his wallet, Polka following him.
You said you were selling cookies? I'd like to buy the whole lot.
Really?
Of course. I want to support a fellow artist. Plus, you're the first neighbor to even speak to me in years.
Coco begins to empty the wagon of its cookies, putting the boxes on Mr. Roswell's porch.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mr. Roswell hands Coco several dollar bills.
I'm happy you for stopping by today. It was glad to meet you, Yoko.
Actually, it's Coco, but it was good to meet you too, Mr. Roswell, and you too, Polka.
Coco gives Polka a goodbye pat. Interior, school bus, afternoon. Hiccup and Alice play with the fortune teller / cootie catcher as the bus heads towards home.
8.
Hiccup unfolds part of the fortune teller to read.
You will marry Jared Pulaski and have 13 babies.
Oh, you should erase that fortune.
No.
Suddenly, a crumpled up piece of paper is thrown at Hiccup's head.
What the heck?
Jojo's head emerges from over the seat behind them. That's what you did for Troop 414.
We didn't do anything to Troop 414. You stole our cookies, and we're never going to forgive you, even if it's the last wish on your deathbed.
That doesn't give you the right to steal them back.
We didn't.
Maybe you didn't, but Coco and her ugly brother did.
Wait, what did Coco do?
Exterior, Coco's neighborhood, day. Coco walks down her sidewalk, smiling at her success. She pulls the stack of bills behind her in the wagon to show them off. As she approaches her house, she sees Alice and Hiccup heading towards her.
Coco? Alice! Hiccup! What are you doing here?
We were on our way to your house. We just had a pretty crazy conversation with Jojo.
Yeah, she said your brother tried to karate chop her at the zoo. Yeah, Max thinks he's pretty badass.
Not as badass as you, though. Is it true that you recited the Girl Scout code as you stole our cookies back?
I did, and I just sold the rest of the cookies for you. 2 even. If I'm not part of Troop 415 anymore.
Coco, you'll always be a part of Troop 415.
Really? We're sorry we were mean to you yesterday.
I'm sorry I told the troop secret.
Alice and Hiccup both hug Coco, who's on the verge of tears.
It's okay. We've all done crazy things for love.
But I don't love Joshua H. He's cute, but he's sneaky and he smells kind of weird. I love Troop 415.
Oh, I do too.
Me too.
Do you think Troop 414 will win the big cookie badge?
Interior, middle school playground, morning. Coco, Alice, and Hiccup scowl as Troop 414 at Troop 414 from across the playground. Hiccup does angry yo-yo tricks. Troop 414 leans against the playground, laughing and accepting high fives from nearby middle schoolers. They all wear sashes stating that they're the big cookie badge winners.
They definitely made those sashes themselves. The big cookie badge doesn't come with a sash.
I can't believe it after all the work we put in. I risked my life going to Mr. Roswell's door.
Troop 414 starts doing triumphant cartwheels.
This is just further evidence that there is no justice in the universe.
They watch Troop 414 continue their cartwheels for a beat.
Would you guys want to come to my house after school?
For what, a troop meeting?
No, to hang out. As friends.
Yeah, I would like that.
Me too.
Interior, Coco's living room, evening. Alice, Hiccup, and Coco sit on Coco's living room floor. They have a plate of freshly baked chocolate chip cookies between them, which they eat as they chat. The sound of angsty guitar comes from Max's room at the end of the hallway. Coco paints on a canvas, the large one that she was looking at the beginning of the movie. We can't see what she's painting yet.
Plus, he's like Joshua H., but nicer.
I think I can see it. In the right light, Joshua R is like a little bit cute.
You guys need to raise your standards. My boyfriend in juvie is gorgeous. And he's a really, really mature life partner for a 13-year-old. But Joshua R is like okay if you're into the nerdy farm and fleet employee type.
Hiccup throws a cookie in the air and catches it in her mouth.
I think I have a crush too.
Ooh.
Jermaine. Jermaine? That's awesome.
She made the best colored pencil holder in woodshop class.
I know, she's so amazing.
Coco picks up Fred from where he's been slithering by on the carpet and holds him on her arm as she paints.
As long as we're being honest with each other, I have something to say.
Yeah?
I don't know if I really wanted to pass on the state fair anyway. I'm kind of scared of roller coasters.
Wait, really?
Yeah. If we won, I would have spent the whole day throwing up.
God, I wish I could see Greta spending all day throwing up.
Hiccup speaks with her mouth full.
You know, it's probably good for me that we didn't win either. I'm gluten intolerant.
Coco shoves Hiccup playfully.
What? You kept talking about how much you wanted a funnel cake.
I do want funnel cake. It just wreaks havoc on my digestive system.
Am I the only one who actually wanted to win the big cookie badge?
No. We wanted to win too, but maybe it's okay that we didn't win this year.
Maybe we'll win next year.
Win the prize of something cool.
Dorothy stops in with 3 glasses of lemonade, which she puts on the coffee table.
Thanks, Mom.
What are you working on, honey?
Coco turns the canvas toward her mom and shows it off proudly. The painting is of Coco, Alice, and Hiccup, smiling with their arms around each other. It's colorful and filled with life, by far the best thing she's painted yet.
It's us, Troop 415.
It's perfect. You girls have been such a great influence on Coco.
Well, maybe not that great. Coco wasn't much of a rule breaker before she met us.
What?
Coco and Alice glare at Hiccup as Dorothy looks at Coco quizzically.
So I guess you should know, Max and I broke into the Menominee Park Zoo.
What?
Exterior, Menominee Park Zoo entrance, day. Coco, Alice, and Hiccup, all wearing their scout uniforms, paint a mural on the wall outside the zoo. Alice paints a capuchin monkey. It's a little shaky, but not bad. Hiccup paints one of her pet rats. Coco paints a dog with colorful polka dots on its fur.
This isn't half bad as far as community service goes.
Coco lowers her paintbrush and sighs at someone off screen.
Max, you can't paint that. Little kids go here.
Max is revealed, painting a lion devouring a bloody zebra.
Little kids need to learn about the circle of life eventually.
Alice tips her head at Max's painting. Wanda walks over and admires Max's work.
I kind of like it. It reminds me of Goya.
Great fine art reference, Alice.
Maybe I'll use this as an album cover. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna use this as an album cover.
I totally listen to that.
Me too.
Joshua R. is revealed, painting a large man-like bat with a sprained wrist. His painting looks like Batman, but uglier.
By the way, does this look okay, Coco?
Yeah, it's cute.
Joshua R. smiles, adds some finishing touches to the man bat. Coco backs up to take in the whole mural.
How does it look so far? Does it go with your vision?
I think it's great. And we're only getting started.
Troop 415 giggles, chats, and plays as the screen fades to black.
End of film.
Thank you all so much for coming out for our first night of New Works Festival. We really appreciate having you all here. In just a few moments, we're going to have a talk back with our lovely playwright and our lovely dramaturg, and we invite you all to please stick around and stay. We have 2 more nights of New Works Festival. We have a show tomorrow by Erin Higuereta, and then we have a show on Friday night by our lovely Carly Thomas. If you're not doing anything Thursday or Friday, you should come out and check it out. Support our lovely MFA students. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a lovely night. Take care.
I knew what you were saying.
Amazing, talented playwright. It's going to be great. I am Lily Hart. I'm actually a 3rd year, and it's been so. Yes. I love a dramatic call back into the theater. You know, ring a bell, turn down the lights, ring a gong. Thank you all for sticking around. It's been amazing to be one of the 3rd years to see Erin, Carly, and Ava come into this program and really band together. And rather than send you all off into some mob to just crowd Ava with questions. I'm sure we're all wondering. I thought we would get a chance to actually hear from the playwright themselves. So, Ava.
Yeah.
Do you mind telling us, where Troop 415 started?
Yeah, absolutely. So as my parents, who are here, will gladly brag about, I quit the Girl Scouts very early. So it's a little bit less autobiographical than it is just being, like I said at the beginning of tonight, really intrigued by the Girl Scouts that I've met recently. Lily is a University of Minnesota alum, so she knows that the very clever Girl Scouts in the Midwest will go to the colleges, as they actually do here as well. They'll go to the colleges and sell, and I just had so many amazing memories with little girls saying like the snarkiest and funniest things I'd ever heard when I was buying cookies in college. And so originally, this script started as a play. Eventually, these characters, I felt like they fit film a little bit better, especially with Coco's passion for art and all of the little details that I wanted to incorporate about them and their lives. And so I started writing this film script here in the MFA program. So thanks, UCR MFA program. Yeah, that's kind of how it started.
Really nice. As someone who was a Wisconsin Girl Scout for a number of years, thank you for letting us in to celebrate these people. What do you think makes Troop 415 special?
Yeah, I just love the characters so much, and I hope you guys love the characters also. I think that Coco and Alice and Hiccup are radically different types of girls, and I think that's really interesting and exciting right away. Listening to their conversations and the way that they play off of each other. I think also I am lucky that there are so many archetypes in public schools because most of my characters, I think the audiences can get to know right away. They're like, oh, of course, Joshua H., the super handsome 8th grader. Oh, of course, Joshua R., the kind of nerdy but tries really hard 8th grader. And so playing with those archetypes were really interesting for me because I wanted them to be a little stereotypical, but also a little unexpected.
Yeah, and you also picked a really cool age to visit the characters with. Would you mind telling us more about why 8th grade, why middle school?
Yeah, so I think it was important to me that my characters were intelligent enough to have some of the more nuanced conversations in the script, but also didn't have enough experience to say anything correct about those subjects, because I find that just really funny. Yeah, and I think that middle schoolers are exactly that level of awkwardness, but also they have a good instinct for what they really value and why, and so that's kind of why I went to 8th grade.
Yeah, and you've, like you said, assembled such a cool and very funny, I will say, cast of characters that film scripts really let you do. They let you really pull as many people as possible. Is there something that you would be the most excited to see, not just visualized by our fantastic actors and performers tonight, but to see on film or to see realized?
My hometown of Oshkosh, Wisconsin on film would be awesome. That would be really cool. Dream World, I think it would be really cool to actually produce a movie in our hometown. My hometown, not your hometown. Home state.
Small town Wisconsin.
Exactly.
Lots
all
of cows.
Kind of blends together. Honestly, being able to highlight some of the places that I grew up in the community that I care a lot about.
Definitely. Yeah. And last question, you've gotten to your second year here in the wonderful MFA program. What was the biggest change, do you think, at the beginning of this process for this New Works Festival, and from where you started to where we ended up tonight?
That's a big question. I think kind of like Coco. I am better at trusting my instincts now than I used to be. I think, especially going into the program, I had a lot of doubt about I want to do this, but is it too weird, or is it too silly, or is it too edgy, whatever, insert adjective here. And I no longer feel that way. I think I'm pretty good now about choosing what I want to write about and being confident in that choice. I'm so glad that it brought me to a lot of the scripts that I've written, but especially to Troop 415.
And nothing shows you trusting your instincts more than going, I'm not just going to write a play, I'm going to make it a film because that's what this story needs. Trusting Your Instincts with this amazing group that put together New Works Festival.
Yeah.
And also it's been amazing to see you grow, not just this quarter, but in the past 2 years. I'm going to release you now into many people who want to congratulate you besides me. Hopefully we can have a round of applause for Ava Fojtik and See you back here tomorrow. Have a good night, drive safe. Yeah, thank you.
How great are we? We're the most supportive people on earth. Hello, I'm supporting.